my good friends of the world, any of my replay viewers. I am just lying here on the couch with my beautiful girl, Maggie. She's just, she's really tired right now. I took her on 3 walks, and apparently that is enough to wear her out. But I just wanted to start a discussion on my Periscope this evening with any friends that are interested in the subject of reality. What is reality? A lot of people say it's just the perception of our five senses, but of what does our reality, like the fabric, consist? You know, what is it made? And science would explain that as atoms, right? Isn't atom like the smallest form that would make up our reality? Perception and consciousness. I really like that one. Consciousness. I believe it is simply energy. That energy is, or conscious energy is our reality. It's everything of which we're made, and the space in between, like the dark matter and all that. That's seriously conscious energy. That's why it can't be explained by science, because it is something felt by your emotions. I think it's some really cool stuff. Physicality of consciousness. Yeah, no doubt, man. So when you break it down to an atom, I love getting that response that, oh, it's made of atoms. That's what our world is made of. But what is an atom? Of what is an atom made? Because each atom is like 99.9% empty space, and that remaining bit are the quarks, and was that other piece, the that center nucleus thing is only made up of a few things with the revolving proton electrons. So it's extremely, like, it's extremely vast and empty, the same way that our space is in between galaxies. And inexplained, unexplained how they're able to interact with each other the same way our brain, you know, sits in our head and tells us these messages of the ways to communicate with one another. And I believe that it can be explained in a really difficult way. You can talk about how complex it is in scientific terms, but I think it can be really easily explained with the answer of conscious energy. And of what is conscious energy made? You know, from where does that get its source? Where's that source of power? What if it's all mass hypnotism from God? See, that's the thing, is that that's basically what it is. That's how I believe. I mean, everyone makes up their own mind of what they think it is, right? To me, yeah, I am. I don't consume dairy either. I have small amounts of honey occasionally and small amounts of fish occasionally, but that's it. But that's not what I'm talking about. That's not the important stuff. The important thing is, right. The important thing to me is that conscious energy, of which everything is made, it comes from love. I think that God, or the creator, whatever it is that our we have for our name, for this supreme consciousness, it's the ultimate consciousness, which I believe is simply a collectivity of all consciousness. So like each soul, every person, is obtaining knowledge and experience that contributes to the one overarching consciousness, which is God. So that is, what is that made of? What is God made of? What is it that makes up all conscious energy? And I think truly that it is love. Pure love. Unconditional love. So each and every time that you open up your mind to the opportunity of love and compassion, over, especially over another feeling of like hatred or fear or separation, when you realize that you're connected, then you move to a higher frequency. that you evolve very slightly, but very noticeably. And with each passing day, if you give it more and more effort, that's where these people that are known as enlightened come from, where they come. That's when those people are seen as like higher beings, like just, the enlightened people. They seem like they're connected to God and everything. And how do they get to that point? They open their heart. I really believe this, that they open their heart to the idea of unconditional love and the fact that everything is connected, that they are the same as you and me. And with enough practice of doing that, you eventually break down this created, what is it called when somebody has their like ego? This creation of ego is a factor only given to us. It's not something that's natural in the human spirit. I think that it's an evolutionary tactic which was evolved throughout the last few thousand years, or used throughout the last few thousand years, so it was more refined throughout that time, but it is now irrelevant, almost. I mean, if you give it a few more 100 years and it will be completely irrelevant, but right now our Earth is going through a development the same way that each and every person does throughout their life. The Earth is a conscious living being, and its consciousness is heightening. And as a result, all of humanity is as well. And for each and every person whose vibrations become higher, it makes it spread like wildfire. It's much easier for the other people to join in on that conscious expansion. The same way that it was very easy for every person to jump into the shrinking of our consciousness, which is very deliberately contained. Our consciousness and our love and our connectivity to one another was very deliberately contained by those in power to maintain power. And that time is coming to an end. It's a very exciting time in human history right now. We are on the brink of an expansion that will just spread compassion to the entire planet. And we'll see, of course it's not going to happen in an instant, and it's not going to be easy. No progress ever is easy or swift. But with enough time that goes by, if we can get through as a species, get through the pain that is not dissimilar to childbirth, if we can get through that pain, that kind of that seeming like discomfort, then we can eventually come out on the other side as enlightened and peaceful creatures on the planet. So thank you so much for my one viewer who's stayed in here, and I really appreciate anybody who replayed this. I really enjoy talking about this sort of thing. Please contact me on Snapchat if you'd like to be connected. I'm very glad to add people on Snapchat. It's Corbin Harris, the same as my handle on Periscope, all one word. I really appreciate connectivity with other people and expanding my own consciousness due to understanding how other people live, learning about other people, their culture, or their way of thinking. So if anyone has a contradictory theory, I would especially like to hear that, but otherwise, of course, I would still love to hear from you. Thank you again. In la kek, and tu eres mi otro yo, and I love you.